So, how are you all doing? It's April. April's done. Yeah, it went quick, didn't it? Well, it did for me anyway. It's been a busy one. Had a bit of drama with the dog, our Jack Russell Cooper. He was poorly, had to go to the vets. Big Bill came back, and it looks like that Big Bill might be continuing. We have got him insured, which is good news, but they haven't paid that out yet. So yeah, yeah, a bit of drama there. Also, yeah, I won't go into it. Other stuff's been going on, so it's been quite a busy, stressful-ish month, but we got through it. We got through it, and the weather's been fantastic recently, so that's lifted the spirits as well. But I thought I'd do a monthly update video. I've got some pickups to show, and some books I've read. I'll talk about those briefly as well, I think. Yeah, TV shows. I don't know what you've all been watching, but we are currently watching The Boys. The final season of that one seems good so far. I think we're 3 or 4 episodes in, so that's not finished yet. I won't give any spoilers. We watched Young Sherlock on Prime. That was good fun, like that. We also watched Scarpetta. It was also pretty good. And we're currently making our way through the Terminator films. In fact, we've made our way through Terminator. We've done them all. So watched them all from Terminator 1 right through to Dark Fate, including Salvation and Genesis. And do you know what? I think they all get, like, obviously Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 sort of bona fide classic films. And the others didn't live up to those, but they get a bad rep. 3 I did find a little bit boring, in places at least, and I didn't really warm to the guy playing John Connor too much. But I liked the fact that at the end of that one they linked and modernised the Skynet story so that it was internet based, which I thought was quite good. I remember being quite impressed with that at the time. Salvation I actually thought was really good. I don't know why that got such a bad rep. And I know they had planned sequels for that one and they got canned. And then Genesis, I think it's a pretty clever idea, right? Doing that sort of alternate timeline type thing, and again bringing it all into the sort of modern times with some quite cool fan service for the original films and stuff. I quite enjoyed that. I know it got a bit panned, but I thought it was all right. And apparently that was they were thinking about that being a sequel to Salvation initially, so it sort of developed from that, which I think is kind of cool. It was a shame it wasn't. And then we watched Dark Fate. I think it must have been the other night, and I did go to the cinema to see that originally. Well, I went to cinema to see all of the new ones, and I thought when I went to cinema and watched it, I really enjoyed it. Actually, I think watching it a second time, I don't think it's bad by any means at all. I think it's interesting the way they took the plot arc with that one. I won't say too much, but yeah, a couple of interesting decisions about that one if you haven't seen it. And yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, the only thing I'd say is the Terminator in it isn't quite as scary as perhaps as Arnie was in the first one and Robert Patrick was in the second one. Didn't seem quite so menacing, although it was a pretty cool design. But anyway, gone through those. It's made me, well, the reason I wanted to watch them again is I read the Terminator article in a recent Retro Gamer magazine. I think it might have even been the last issue or the one before that, which was like a build up for the Terminator 2D game that came out. I can't remember what it's called. No Fate? Is it called No Fate? But they talked about the movies in that, and I was like, do you know what? I think I need to watch them again. And yeah, I want to play the game now, and I know James has mentioned that it's really good. So yeah, it's something I would like to pick up at some point. Although it's still quite expensive, so we'll see. I'll probably end up getting it for the Switch, although maybe the Xbox. I don't know. We'll see, but I will get it at some point. Yeah, so that's TV and film really done, I think. I mean, yeah, probably watched loads of other stuff because most evenings I either watch uh, YouTube, see what you're all up to, or we watch TV and movies and stuff. So we've watched a lot. Right, so pickups. I'll start with a vinyl. I haven't bought much vinyl for a while, but I was in a charity shop and this was only £3, and it's Fleetwood Mac Mirage, and it's not an album I was aware of. I really only kind of knew Rumours, and I had a best of CD back in the day, Fleetwood Mac that I really like. But yeah, this one was £3. I thought it was worth a go. The vinyl's in really good condition. The case is a bit tatty. I mean, it's old, right? But it's fine. The artwork's quite cool, and you've got Mick Fleetwood and John McVie on the back there as well. So they're all in it. The only song I really knew from the track list is Gypsy. I didn't really know the other ones, but it's a really good listen to, actually. I've played it quite a few times. Well worth £3. So that's the only vinyl. I haven't bought any more of that. Magazines. I have had 2 Freeze magazines delivered. So this is Freeze 64 issue 83, which I've already read. Really good as always. It covers a game called Fire Trap, which is a game I hadn't heard of at all. I hadn't heard of it on the Commodore 64, but it's also an arcade original, which I hadn't heard of either. So it's piqued my interest. I think it's something I want to play. I should have it because it's mentioned. I think Frank Gaskin mentioned that he had it on the Big Box 30, the Bo Jolly collection. I think he was talking about, which I do have. So in theory, I've got the game to play. If not, I'll load it off the SD card and try it. And there's also a really good interview with the developer Mike Chilton in here. There's quite a few pages. I think it's my favourite part of the magazine, that in the mouldy cupboard, the developer interview. So yeah, that was good read. Cheers, Vinny. But also Freeze ZX. So this is the Spectrum version of 364. This is issue 3, and as you can see, it covers Chase HQ on the front there. I haven't read this one yet, so this is my next to read. It's probably going to make me a bit sore about Chase HQ because, as I've probably mentioned before, Chase HQ was a great arcade game that I liked, and I was very disappointed with the Commodore 64 port when we got it, and I was very annoyed about how good it was on the Spectrum when my mates showed me theirs. So yeah, what I'll probably do is give that another go on the 64 at some point, because I've got to cover it anyway. And I was thinking that the 64 Ultimate, which is there in the background, that's not what's playing at the moment. That's the PC Engine in the background. But the 64 Ultimate, you can change the CPU speeds, so you can speed it up. So I was wondering whether, I'll load Chase HQ up and see if it actually gets improved by a faster CPU or not. Be an interesting experiment, because it might finally make me happy with a port, even if it is cheating a little bit. And I also got, this was the latest Retro Gamer, but I think actually another one's just come out. I used to subscribe to Retro Gamer. I don't anymore, but I'd still buy it selectively if there's something that looks of interest to me. And this one's got a lot of Amiga coverage on it, with some freebies and a bit of coverage about the Commodore 64 Ultimate as well, which I'm interested in. So that's why I picked that one up. It's also got a bit about Crystal Kingdom Dizzy, which is a game I've never played. I've got it down there, but I haven't really gone through the Dizzy games again yet. At some point I will. And then, I don't know if you've seen it, if you've got it or not, but it's got cool posters that are included this time. So yeah, it'd be good to see those. So that's Retro Gamer. Take away load 283. Yeah. Right. So that's the magazines. I got a bit of Lego. Treated myself to the Back to the Future Speed Champion set. I have the original Lego DeLorean that they did through the Creations, like probably 10 years ago or whatever it was. already. So I haven't really been buying the like there was two newer DeLoreans, I think, like a reasonably small size one and a big one, but I haven't picked those up. But this one's like 23 quid, and I thought I'll have it. I haven't built it yet, but I will at some point, and I'll enjoy building it. I watched Paul Stew's retro reviews. Did a little video, fun one, with him sort of messing about a little bit as part of the build, and it does look like it's going to be a good one. So pleased to have that. Nice little treat for myself. Then next, some games. So I got myself Desert Strike for the Mega Drive, and this is complete. The manual's in pretty decent condition. I haven't loaded it up yet, but it's a game that I remember fondly. I think I possibly played the Amiga version more than the Mega Drive one back in the day. But did they use it in Challenges and Games Master? I can't remember, but I've definitely got this sort of nostalgic feeling for the game, and I want to play it again and maybe play it properly, because I would have thought back then I was trying to play it like an arcade game probably, instead of a sort of tactical game, which is what it is really, right? Slightly more strategic than just go around gung-ho blasting things. Tell me if I'm wrong about that, by the way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again. The Mega Drive is around. It's not packed away, so I can probably start thinking about having to go at that soon. In fact, I think I'm going to set myself a challenge to try and complete one game on the Mega Drive, because I've never done that. I've completed Sonic the Hedgehog, but I did that on the PSP using the Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, and that obviously has save states and stuff, whereas the original Sonic didn't have that, so it was kind of cheating. And I think I'd like to complete a game on the Mega Drive, just one. If you've got recommendations for an easy one to complete, let me know. But yeah. Could it be that one? Who knows? This cough hasn't gone away. And I finally got myself, well, there's a bit of a story here, finally got myself Resident Evil Code Veronica. So I mentioned that I wanted to get it, and I was looking for it, and I was looking for it ideally for the Xbox. But it turns out the 360 didn't get a physical release of Code Veronica. So my best bet was the PS2 version, which I managed to pick up for about a tenner, I think. And yeah, it's nice. It's got the manual and everything in it. It's all very good. I went to try it out, and my PlayStation 2 Mini would not read, not Mini, Slim, PlayStation 2 Slim, would not read any discs. So that's broken. And I think I managed to get it at one point load up Burnout 2. But I had to hold it at a weird angle when it loaded, and then I tried again and it wouldn't load. So that needs some work on it. I'm not sure what it is. I read that it can be like the sensors on the lid, because it's obviously the Slim's got a top loader lid. Well, not a loader lid, just like a flap. And apparently that can cause it to not work, or it could be the lens on the CD. So I don't know. But I did go up in the loft. I got out the original PS2, the big boy, and that worked. So I can play that when I'm ready. However, at the same time, there's a sale on the Xbox shop, and I managed to pick up the digital version of the 360 game, which did get a UK release, and that was £2.24. So I've picked it up for the PS2 physical. I've got the digital for the Xbox. I will probably play the Xbox one, because I think it's enhanced as well, like a HD remaster or something. So that's the version I'm going to play. I'm not going to play it yet though, because I am committed to completing Red Dead Revolver. I'm not very committed, because I've only played it once this month, but I want to complete that first before I pick another game up. I'm on the mission with that one. After you've done the mines, and you're on a truck trying to defend it from the bandits, and then you're defending it from Indians, as you're going through like a mountainous region, like a bit like a canyon or something you're going into, and that's where I got to with that one. So not very much progress from last time, but some progress, and I will finish that game. 3 games for the Commodore 64. They're all new releases, but some of them aren't new to me. So I'll start off first with Hammer Down, which is like an Action Biker reimagination, or an ode to Action Biker in some ways, I think. And it was made by Jason Kelk, who was a very well respected and loved member of the C64 homebrew community, who passed away sadly with COVID a few years back, and they managed to get this game sort of released as a tribute. This is the second release. I've actually got the original release up there somewhere, which looks like a the Mastertronic Action Biker release style. But I bought it again because Ken's, who runs Cytronic, is a very clever man, and he's made these collectibles. So I've probably shown you before. This is part of the Cytronic collection. Let me get it out of the case. I can always put it back in. So can you see that the Cytronic collection there? And I put it on the side, and they're all sort of branded. Why is it? All branded to look like a collectible thing, really, and that's like crack to me. So this is number 12, and I've bought them all, even though I've already got this. Pondering maybe moving on the original release and just keeping this one. What would you do? I don't think that it's particularly valuable, so I don't think there's a lot of money involved, but it's whether to keep both releases and have both variants, or whether to keep it streamlined and move on the one that isn't part of a set, maybe. In a similar vein, we have Cytronic Collection number 13, which is a game called Guns and Ghosts. Now, again, this is a re-release under the Cytronic Collection brand, and I already own the original release of this one on disc, so I've got it on disc. I can't play disc games anymore. Well, I can, but the disc drive's up in the loft, packed away with lots of bubble wrap and care, primarily because it's huge, and I just haven't got the room to keep it on at the moment. And with the Ultimate, and there's no real traction to me for discs. I don't have nostalgia for them on the Commodore 64. So unlike the cassettes, which is what I grew up using. So yeah, it's packed away. So I have this on disc, the original release, and again, maybe I should move it on. Maybe I should keep it because it's a disc and so it's a different format. Not sure. Interested to know what you would do, thoughts-wise, on that one. But yeah, this collection, this Cytronic collection, is starting to build nicely, and I will be a sucker and support it all the way, I'm sure. It's good quality stuff. The games are good. This game, Guns and Ghosts, I have played. It might even be on the channel. It's like a single arcade game, like a single screen arcade game, platform game. But you've got a. It's based on Supernatural, so the two characters are based on the TV series Supernatural, and you've got to basically clear all of the ghosts out on each screen, a bit like you might do in Bubble Bobble or something. It's not as cutesy as Bubble Bobble, you're shooting with a gun, but you know, that sort of thing. Clear that screen, move on to the next one. But it's good, and the developer who made this also released a blog at the time, so there's a big sort of technical story about how he implemented it, why he implemented it, the changes he made, the sort of polish he gave it, and yeah, it's really good. I'd recommend that you give that a go if you're playing Commodore stuff. And then the third one from the collection that I picked up, which is number 14, is a new game that's only recently come out. It's by the same people that made Musketeer, which I've got a video on, which is really good. And this one's called Sherwood, so Robin Hood themed. And by all accounts, it looks really, really good. But I haven't played it yet, and that will probably be the next Commodore 64 game I try to play to completion. I think is I'm doing that more on the new releases than the old ones, for some reason. I don't know why, but yes, that will probably happen. So that's my pickups. I mentioned books, so I got this book quite a while ago. It's Exodus by Peter F. Hamilton. Big Peter F. Peter F. Hamilton fan. I like a lot of his books. I haven't read them all, but I've probably read, I don't know, 8 or 9 of his books. 2 or 3 of the big series that he's done. The Commonwealth Saga ones particularly enjoyed. This is the new one that he's releasing. It's a 2-parter. This is the part 1 of it. There is also apparently a video game coming out as well. So this has been written at the same time as a video game's been developed, which is interesting. It was a good story, good read, but it was a hard read. There's a lot going on in it. It's like 900 pages of very complicated plot lines, lots of high-tech stuff to try and get your head around and understand, different species that there. So for me, it was a bit like the complexity of something like Game of Thrones, where you've got lots of characters, lots of plot arcs running that eventually come together that you're trying to keep up with, lots of mythical creatures, lots of lore, and also on top of all of that is quite a lot of complicated science. So it was quite a hard read, and it took me quite a while to get through it, but it is good. It's a good story. I enjoyed it, and yeah, if you're into sci-fi, I recommend looking at some Peter F. Hamilton stuff, and you know, if you really want, I can hit you up with a couple of recommendations. Probably Pandora's Star maybe might be the one to start with, but yeah, good. And then very differently, after I finished that one, I picked up Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the latest installment in the Hunger Games stories. This tells the story of Haymitch, who, if you've read or seen the first set of books, Haymitch was a previous victor from District 12, which is Katniss's district, and he was her mentor in the games. And this is his story, so the games that he was in, and how that goes. Obviously, you know the outcome if you've watched those films or read those books. But it was a good read, and this took me like a week and a half to read, which is completely different in comparison to Exodus. But it was good, well written, good plot, some surprises, and I think it's being turned into a film. So yeah, good stuff. I think that's it. That's all I was gonna show. If you're interested, the game that's sort of playing away there in the background is Mr. Heli. The reason it's in black and white on the CRT is because it's NTSC, so it doesn't go very well. So when I'm playing PC Engine stuff, I normally use the other TV. That's why it's there, really. I haven't really got around to playing this yet. At some point, I will do a video that compares this version and the Commodore 64 version. I think we can see already which one's going to win. But it'd be interesting to see just how big the gulf is between the two, and yeah, I think I might try and do that soon. Actually, it's good. I want to get on the +4 as well. I haven't played the +4 for a while, and I've still got quite a few games of that to cover, so there's some stuff to do there. Also got some more collections to walk through. I've still got the Atari to do, as in the 2600. That's the only Atari I've got. I've got the PlayStation 2, and the PSP I can run through. I've got the GameCube, Wii U, and Switch. Yeah, I think that's it. I have got a small Amiga collection, but it's like literally rubbish. I could do that though. And the Game Gear, but that's not very big either. So yeah, if any of them are of interest, let me know, because I'll prioritise doing the ones that you think are interesting first. But I will try and cover them, because it's a good way for me to have a record of what I had at a particular point in time, and it forces me to get them documented on a spreadsheet or whatever, which is useful when I'm going out to, you know, retro events and markets and even charity shops and stuff, so I know what I've got. But yeah, that's it. I hope you've had a good April. Hope you've had less drama. Let me know what you think of the pickups and the books, if you've got any opinions on those, if you've read them. Also interested to know what you think about the Terminator films, if you disagree with me. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you next time.